Hi there. When I have concerns for cerebral palsy at 2 months. Now, I'm not here to diagnose you, but I'm going to say this. If these words are coming out of your mouth, act like you have it. I do have a course on cerebral palsy, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm proactive. I get on it. Everybody's going to say wait and see. But what they're doing for cerebral palsy is, first of all, when you hear wait and see, you think you're waiting for your child to do well. They're waiting to see how bad it's going to get. Okay? If there's no seizures involved, which is a good thing, then they wait till about 18 months and then they do an MRI. No doctor deals with developmental issues, thanks to the U.S. government, until 9 months of age. That's when they're instructed. They don't start looking at that until 9 months of age. Then if you pass that, it's 18 months of age. I don't want the boat to sail. You're being proactive. There's nothing wrong with it. And two, you're just working on basic skills. So the biggest challenge you can have with her, which is she's very wide in the chest and not crossing midline. So what you're seeing is this out exterior movements. The reason I say don't use that pillow, there's 3 crucial movements that are needed for all development: weight transfer, transitional skills, and rotational movements. When you have this big pillow around it, I get it, we're trying to keep the child safe on the couch, but and from her rolling over, but we're also preventing rolling over, right? And at 2.5 months to 3 months, your baby really should start rolling over. I'm much more aggressive, but on track. If you're looking at the right when you got your welcome package from here, I'm about time dictated development. And if you want standing without support by 12 months, your child has to go through these key milestones. So I would get on the Fast Start program and start with tummy time, right? And because again, the tummy time with her wide chest, or if again she has torticollis, they're going to just start stretching her, and but it's asymmetry. You're just going to be here, and you're going to start doing the tummy time course. And if she can't handle that, then it's going to be on your chest, right? We have different ways of working around it, but that's where you're going to start. You're guided, and when the Fast Start program, you also get your weekly Zooms, and you can be involved and really keep up on your child's development, that you're on track. But again, all these people, you can go on the CP board and you're going to hear, oh, my baby did that, they were horrible, that my baby did that, they were fine. You want to work on your child's movements, and that's what you're going to be working on. So yes, you have complications in the midlines. You can see that's a free course I have, the newborn movement assessment, and you can agree with me that the what you're seeing is stiffness, but really that lack of movement within the chest area is your #1 priority. You didn't mention any trauma, which you don't have to have for CP. There could have been a stroke in utero. There's can be lots of different reasons for it to happen. It doesn't matter. Even some genetics have high tone. Usually genetics mean low tone, and trauma means high tone. But again, the genetics can show that, like in Fox gene 1. I'm not looking at those things. I'm just talking. I'm giving examples. I'm not saying by any way, shape, or form. But if the word CP is coming out of your mouth, act like you have it. And then if you don't, woohoo, but you are on track. Also, too, when you're doing these developmental programs, what you're learning, the biggest benefit you're getting out of it, you're really on top of your child. So when you are talking to her medical community, your team, and you can say, and you can talk much more actively because the child can roll off a pillow, and a doctor will say, do they roll over? And a parent wants to brag, and they'll say yes, but no, they just sort of fell off a pillow. It's not rolling over. Those are the big differences in development, where you'll be more keyed into what your child's doing. You'll represent her better, and you'll get more out of your team, which is instead of this wait and see and what's going on there. Because a lot of people feel, which is a big misconception, oh, no trauma, your baby should be fine. And that's not the point. Nobody evaluated your child yet for movement, and they probably won't for a bit. That's why they want a physical therapist to come in. But just to say that she has torticollis, they're still not dealing with the development side of it, and that's very important that you engage in that. Thanks.